Yeah, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Kill. So Frosty, Flatbush the movie 2 on the way. Gaza City TV, Gangs of the City, Gaza City web series, Gaza City podcast, Gaza the City, everything, man. Anyway, I'm back with some more news for y'all, man. But before we get into it, I need y'all to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification little bell so you can know when I'm on. Hit the like, dislike, comment. Make sure you're active as long as you're here. Anyway, man, y'all know what it is, man. As you know already, Jam Master Jay was murdered in 2002, October 30th in Jamaica, Queens, in his recording studio. Jam Master Jay, also known as Jason Mizzle, was killed in the studio, and it went unsolved for about 18 years. Well, finally, I guess the feds caught wind of something. Maybe somebody's in a situation and they're clearing the air, or maybe they've been doing the investigation and finally got his hot tip. But anyway, they're saying they indicted two men. You know those two men. One of the men is already locked up right now for a prior conviction. But if you don't know who Jason Mizzle, Jam Master Jay is, then you just don't know hip hop. It's from Run DMC. You know Run DMC and them. They broke a lot of barriers when it came to hip hop. You know, they weren't a violent group. They really promoted more like positive music. You know, they made the Adidas famous, the Adidas tracksuit, the big rope chains, as you can see. I mean, they really broke barriers with rock and roll, mixing hip hop with rock and roll. They did a lot of things that a lot of hip hoppers never did before prior. So yes, it was a sad case that we lost Jam Master Jay. I guess it's good news now that the guys that are responsible for his death, which is Ronald Washington and Carl Jordan Jr., are finally put away for the murder of a hip-hop legend. It's crazy, like, you never really know what's going on in the industry, because for people like Jam Master Jay that really put people on. Also, if you remember, Jam Master Jay was one of the first guys behind 50 Cent's career. He was one of the first guys that used to promote 50 Cent. He had 50 Cent's recording with him. My whole thing is, I don't get how guys like them, because they really don't, I mean, they may be from the streets and they probably grew up a certain way, but as far as the image they pushed out, they didn't, you know, sometimes they say you put the energy in the air and that's why things happen. Well, they didn't really put the energy of some negativity in the air. And it was surprising that that could even happen to a person like Jam Master Jay at the age of 37, where these guys really had they basically were established as hip-hop legends then. So it was kind of weird when everybody woke up to hearing the news that we lost Jam Master Jay due to gun violence. Plenty of things went on. They were witnesses. They were little documentary types that showed exactly what happened that night, and people that were there, the front desk lady and these people. I don't know was exactly how it took 18 years to solve it. So that's why I said maybe somebody got in trouble and spilled the beans on what they knew already. You know how that goes, man. But anyway, justice, shouts to the family of Jason Mizzle, Jam Master Jay. Hopefully you could get some closure now, because they finally got the killer, and maybe now everybody can have an explanation to know, because, you know, when something like that happens, you really don't know. It kind of puts everybody on edge when people around don't really know why somebody got killed. Everybody may think, like, what's going on? Did he owe money and they coming for it? You know, you never know exactly what it is. So, now I'm hoping the family get closure. The fans, I know it's more of the older crowd, but hopefully they could get closure, and everybody could just at least appreciate the legend for what he gave to us in the game. Like I said, you know, we lose. That's crazy. That was in 2002, and fast forward 2020, as you can see, there's plenty of more rappers and hip hoppers that we lost strictly to gun violence. I mean, it gets outrageous at some times where you start to think like, Jesus, we're the only ones. You don't really see reggaeton guys dying from gun violence like that. I mean, maybe one or two, but definitely not gonna see no pop stars or country stars dying off of gun violence. So, like I said, when the guys make it out of the ghetto or the streets of the struggle, and they make it to where they gotta go, we should have a code to honor that they made it that far, that we shouldn't be taking them out, especially when they're legends, you know, because it's like the crab in the barrel mentality is holding us back, guys. Anyway, y'all know what it is, man. KAYOSOFROSTY is the Instagram. Holla at your boy. Let me know where you following me from. Let's go.